ESPN Sports. It's the final weekend of the regular season in the Missouri Valley Conference. Several of our local schools are in a dogfight for a top 4 seed and a bye in Arch Madness, including Valparaiso. Only one game back right now of that 4 seed. It's already been a successful season for the Beacons. Picked last in the preseason poll to start the year. Now 11-8, the highest the team's win percentage in the league has been since joining the Valley in 2017-18. I spoke with 2 of the team's star freshmen and their head coach, Roger Powell Jr., the Joliet native and former Fighting Illini grade, who has turned Valpo around in just 3 seasons at the helm.
Well, I think, a big part is the consistency of these guys. We had probably our toughest schedule this year. Year 1 we had a hard schedule. Year 2 was decent, but this year, man, we played some tough teams, and I think we had some really close games with those tough teams. And I think it gave us strength and kind of calloused us a little bit. So now, we're able to pull out these games, and we've grown in the season. And the other thing is, we're playing so many young, like freshmen. I mean, we're the 324th least experienced team in college basketball. So with that, the trajectory of growth is pretty high because we have a lot of young guys. It's just, everything this year is their first.
I was going to ask you about that. 10 underclassmen on the roster. 2 of your top 3 scorers are freshmen. Not only for this year, but what does that mean for the growth of the program and the sustainability that you want to build?
Well, I think we found the guys that fit us. Last year we were young and we had some young players, and obviously they decided to transfer on, and I wish them well. But this group I think is different, and this group is they really embody what Valpo means, and they connect with me. Like, we're very connected with some of these young guys. So it's special, and this has been the most fun I've had coaching at Valpo since I've been a head coach.
That's great to hear. And I'm sure it's testing your heart rate as well and your blood pressure maybe because of all these close games you talked about.
Yeah, I stay calm. I mean, it's, I have a young point guard in Rakim Cheney, and we're growing together. So when you have that connection with your guys or with your point guard, we kind of feel each other. So, I have a lot of confidence he's going to make the right play. And then, JT Pettigrew, we played the same position. Like, I was a 4-man in college. So, it's just, there's a comfort level in both those guys because, I just have a ton of belief in them. And then the rest of the guys on my team, they're so connected. I'm able to stay calm because I just know they're going to make the right play.
How does your shot compare to JT's and the 3-pointer we saw to win the game on Wednesday?
I never hit any. I hit some threes in games, but nothing like that. I mean, that was special, and that's just a credit to him. He's just both those guys, and they're just selfless. There's not a selfish bone inside of them, and all the things they're doing, the success they're having, they deserve it just because who they are and their character.
JT, as a freshman, in your basketball career, how many game winners like that had you hit going back to high school or youth play? Was that the biggest one you can name?
That's definitely probably the big. I think I've hit a couple. Nothing like that though. That was pretty big.
Take me just through the moment and what it was like, knowing it's a tie game. You guys had fought back to get it to that point. A good Drake team, but wanting to make sure you defend home court. Your senior night, the stands pretty packed with fans, and wanting to go home as a winner for your home season finale.
I just knew that if the ball got in my hands, that I would have to take advantage of the moment, the opportunity, and that's what I did. On my team, my coaches all have a ton of belief in me, so I just put that belief in that shot, and the result came back how I wanted.
Rakim, as a freshman point guard, coach was telling me he has a lot of faith with the ball in your hands. How have you earned the trust of coach, your teammates, and be able to, be a commanding presence on this team in your first year?
Well, obviously we took our road bumps in the beginning of the year, and I took my bumps individually as well. So just being a good basketball player and watching film with my coach and continuing to talk to him and make a relationship off the court, I built that trust, and I feel a lot more comfortable, especially when games are close. We had some close games that we lost, and we kind of fell off in the beginning of the year. So now when games are close, I feel a lot more comfortable and calm when the ball is in my hands, and I feel a lot more faithful in my team.
What makes Valpo a threat Arch Madness next week to go potentially cut down the nets in St. Louis?
I think the biggest thing for us is our depth, having to play if we can get it by 3 games, 3 days, if not 4 games in 4 days. Just I don't think the other teams had the depth that we have, and just being able to go down the roster like that and everyone being able to perform, it's going to be a big factor into how the tournament goes.
I think what makes us a threat is that we're hot right now. We know how to play together. Haven't really had that game where everyone is going. So, like, I know that game is coming in. If it's in the tournament, that's going to be really big. And another big thing is that like we were picked to finish last in the NBC, and like we blew that out the water. So I know that makes us a threat. Just that we have our depth as well. So yeah.
How much of a chip on your all shoulders was that?
It was a big trip. We talked about it in the beginning of the season, just because Coach Powell like had the belief in us, and he knew how good that we could be, and just being picked last, just it motivated all of us to show the conference what we could do.
Yeah, yeah. Similar to what he said, like we just know it's a big chip on our shoulder. We spoke about it before the season, all preseason. It was in our heads, and Coach Powell would show us. He would show us that like before practices and before games, just to remind us like that we were disrespected and that we have to earn our respect because nobody knows us. We have like basically zero Division I like experience on our team, so we had to earn that respect.
And finally, Coach, you as a Joliet native, you know what basketball is like in the greater Chicagoland area. How important is it to keep recruiting Chicago, the suburbs, the region, all this Midwest hub for basketball, and to get as many local players to say, hey, Valpo is a place I want to play?
Well, listen, man, this is the home for me. When I was at Gonzaga, I came back and recruited, Illinois Mr. Basketball, Brayton Huff. I got him to Gonzaga. I've always kind of wanted to take care of home, and I think there's enough basketball players in Chicagoland area, suburbs, the state of Illinois. Indiana, obviously, Northwest Indiana. There's a ton of talent here. And if we can continue to be a home for these guys, there's a lot more pride when you win and you got your family in the stands and they can go to all the games. The Missouri Valley Conference is close enough where they can basically travel to all these games. There's just a lot more pride. And for me, it's a joy to give, these young local players that type of a platform because it makes their experience that much better.
And we're seeing that JT out of Bolingbrook High School, Rakim out of Rockford. So I really appreciate their time. Valpo goes for 5 straight wins to close out the regular season tomorrow at Evansville.
All right, stick with us when we come back.